Good morning. I know that some of you do not have internet yet, so I am hoping that when you do get your internet back up and running, that you can, oh, you know what? It is not 10 o'clock yet. Let me wait a minute before I get going a little too early. All right, so as I was saying, I know some of you do not have internet yet. That is totally okay. I know that those storms, they were something wicked. So when you do get internet or some of your friends get internet, just remind them that this will be posted to my YouTube page so they can watch it whenever. Hey, Wes. And you can always log back on and watch it again. What's up, Reagan? So just as a review, remember we use the comments to talk about the book. It's just like you're on the carpet with me. All right, so no just funny messages to your friends. Okay, we are starting a new book this week, and I have really missed reading to you because we had spring break, and then yesterday we had the day with no power or internet. So, hey Marquise, this book is called The Boy on the Porch, okay, by Sharon Creech, who I love. And y'all, Miss Adair loves Sharon Creech too, I'm pretty sure. So if she joins us in our Zoom conference after, you will have to let her know that we read a book by Sharon Creech. Okay, so The Boy on the Porch. Chapter 1. The young couple found the child asleep in an old cushioned chair on the front porch. He was curled against a worn pillow, his feet bare and dusty, his clothes fashioned from rough linen. They could not imagine where he had come from or how he had made his way to their small farmhouse on a dirt road far from town. How old a boy is he, do you think? The man asked. Hard to say, isn't it? 7, 8? Small for his age then. 6? He's got big feet. Haven't been around kids much. Me either. John circled the house and then walked down the dirt drive past their battered blue truck and shed, scanning the bushes on both sides as he went. Their dog, a silent beagle, slipped into his place beside the man, sniffing around on the ground. When the man and the dog returned to the porch, the woman was kneeling beside the old cushioned chair, her hand resting gently on the boy's back. There was something in the tilt of her head and the tenderness of her touch that moved him. The young couple, Marta and John, were reluctant to go about their normal chores. Reluctant means they were hesitant. They weren't sure if they were supposed to, fearing that the boy would wake and be afraid. So they took turns watching over the sleeping boy. It did not seem right to wake him. For several hours, they moved about more quietly than usual, until at last John said, "It's time to wake that child, Marta. Maybe he is sick, sleeping so much like that." "You think so?" She felt his forehead, but it was cool, not feverish. They made small noises. They coughed and tapped their feet upon the floor, and they let the screen door flap shut in its clumsy way. But the child still slept. "Tap him," John said. "Tap him on the back." She tapped him lightly at first, then more firmly, as if she were patting a drum. But nothing. "Lift him up," John said. "Oh, no, I couldn't. You do it." "No, no, it might scare him to see a big man like me. You do it. You're more gentle." Marta blushed at this and considered the child and what might be the best way to lift him. "Just scoop him up," John said. She scooped up the boy in one swift move, but he was heavier than she expected, and she swayed and turned and flopped into the chair with the boy now in her arms. Still, the boy slept. Hmm. I see Wes put in the comments, is he dead? I'm kind of thinking that too. I'm not really sure what's going on yet. Anyone else have any idea how this little boy wandered up on their porch? He's not waking up to any sounds. Um, he's not waking up to any tapping. Anybody else have any idea besides Wes? All right. Marta looked up at John and then down the dusty-headed boy. I suppose I better just sit here with him until he wakes, she said. The sigh of his wife with the child in her lap made John feel peculiar. He felt joy and surprise and worry and fear all at once in such a rush, making him dizzy. So John, her husband's feeling a lot of emotion right now. I'll tend to the cows, he said abruptly. Just call me if you need me. Her chin rested on the child's head. Her hand patted his back. It's okay, Marta whispered to the sleeping child. I will sit here all day if need be. Their dog normally shadowed John from dawn till dusk, but on this day, he chose to lie at Marta's feet, eyes closed, waiting. Before John went to the barn, he scanned the drive again and circled their farmhouse, finding nothing out of the ordinary. He hurried on to his chores. Marta closed her eyes. It's okay, she whispered. So John is out working in the farm. His dog usually follows him, but the dog chose to stay near the sleeping boy and his wife, Marta. She must have dozed off, for she was startled by something tapping her feet. The child's hand rested on her cheek, his eyes wide, a deep, dark brown, his face so close to hers that she had to lean back to focus. Oh, Marta said, don't be afraid. We found you here on the porch. Don't be afraid. He gazed back at her steadily, then turned to take in the porch, the trees beyond, and the beagle at his feet. He let his hand drop toward the beagle, not reaching for the dog, but as if offering his hand in case the dog should want to sniff it. The beagle sniffed the hand and then the boy's arms and legs. He licked the dust from the boy's feet. I'm Marta, she said. What are you called? The boy made no motion to move from her lap, and he did not answer. You must be hungry, Marta said. Would you like something to eat? To drink? The boy looked out at the bushes, the drive. So the boy has woken up, okay? He's still not talking, so we're not sure how he ended up on the porch. Okay, I'm going to read this last chapter to you. These are very short chapters. Actually, I'm going to be starting chapter 4 right now. So that's how short these chapters are. The boy followed Marta into the house and stood beside her as she cut a thick slice of bread, drizzled it with honey, and set it on a plate beside a ripe pear and a glass of milk. His appetite seemed good, for he ate what was on the plate and licked the honey off his finger. Again, he offered his hand to the beagle, letting the dog lick the honey. Now, Marta said, can you tell me your name? The boy's fingers tapped on the table. Can you tell me how you came here? Did someone bring you? The boy looked at her pleasantly enough and tapped his fingers lightly on the table, but he said nothing. When John returned from the barn, the boy regarded him casually. The boy looked all around the room, equally interested, it seemed, in the man and the woman standing before him, as in the table, the dog, the wooden cabinet, the wash basin, and the cupboards. Look, John, the boy woke up. Her words sounded silly to her ears. Yes, yes, I see, John said, smiling. His voice had boomed out of his mouth much too loud. And what might your name be, boy? Still too loud. Oh, Reagan said he might be deaf or he is mute. Let's see. He won't say, John. I've already tried. Is he deaf, do you think? No, he seems to hear all right. He just doesn't speak. Probably too shy, John said. That's okay, boy. Take your time getting used to us. He turned to his wife. No one's come for him yet? No. Shh. No. Surely someone will come for him, Marta. Shh. The boy reached into his pocket, withdrew a crumpled note, and handed it to Marta. The crumpled note. I want to show you, okay, how the author wrote this. Okay. Please take care of Jacob. He is a good boy. We will be back when we can. So this is the note that was in Jacob's pocket. And if you look at the way it is written, okay, there's a lot of words spelled wrong. Okay? It's not written in the best handwriting. So somebody put a note in his pocket and asked him to take care of Jacob. And it said they'll be back when they can. So we will see what happens. All right, we are going to stop there. I am going to send you the Zoom invite to your Canvas inbox, and I will see you in a little bit. So check your inbox. All right, bye guys. See you in a little bit.